Welcome back to my channel, and today we have vcds and how we're going to use it. And at the end, we're going to see how the series goes and a little bit of updates on me, but that's at the end because I know you guys got things to do. So first you want to grab your laptop, get into that, get that open. Now we have the Hex V2, which is, basically what you need. It's better than one of those Amazon cables for like 20 bucks. And it comes with, the cheapest one was like $200 with 3 VINs, and it obviously accessed all the software. So what I'm gonna do, Just gonna plug into the right hole here. That's what happens when you look through your camera, not through your eyes. All right, and then we're gonna take this, we're gonna plug it into our OBD. This is always the worst part, because I can't see, I can only feel. It's gonna be embarrassing. Okay, after an incredibly long battle, I finally got it plugged in. As you see, it turns green when you plug it in. So, now that we got it plugged in, you're gonna wanna go ahead and download the vcds software that you can find on your laptop. I don't know why the sun's being weird like this. That you can find on vcds. It'll look a little something like that little CD there that you'll bring onto your computer. Then it'll also download this with it. Now what you want to do is, once that you get that program started, you have your cable plugged in, it'll open something that looks like this, but all this is grayed out and you just have options, exit, and about. You'll go into your options, you'll hit test, and then save, and then you are completely set and ready to go. So now it's time for me to explain all this other stuff. So if you go into applications, you have some of the extra information there that you could need, like erase all your error codes and all that. And then if you go into your OBD2, what this does is it is basically just your basic mode to where you read all of your basic information. So if this would ever load, which it does not seem like it wants to. See, this is the hard part about making videos like this, and where you now have to wait a little bit. Yeah. Oh, important step here. Turn on your car. I would advise on putting it in accessory, but turn off all your lights and whatnot to reduce drain on your battery so you don't end up with a dead battery. So then you're going to go into read data, or data, whichever makes you happy. You have all this information here. Basically, this is all information for what you could need when you're testing your vehicle. So let's say your coolant, you just want to test your coolant here. I haven't started my car today. We're at 15 degrees Celsius. Now I guarantee you, I start the car, that coolant temperature will jump. Give it a second here once the car starts. So while I wait for that, we're gonna go on to some of the other things we got going here. So look, my RPMs here, look at that. This is that, look at that. We're at 1230, and as you see, as the car is going down, this is reading it, and those are dropping as well. As you see, my coolant temperature is rising. And all that's dropping until it slowly lowers down after it sets the oil levels and whatnot, all the way down to my idle as the coolant raises in temperature as it should. So that's that. Now, there was something else. So you can check your O2 sensor locations and whatnot, your status on that, make sure it's getting proper voltage. You can log and graph all this data, so if it ever comes to something you need, your ambient air temperature that's coming into your engine. Look at that, our coolant has already doubled in heat, so that's cool. So now if we go into readiness, this is basically what you'd use for something like an inspection. So this is what you'd use to test all these different systems. And now some of this stuff isn't going to be on just because, like, I haven't driven the car while this is on, or this car's only been started for a little bit, so a lot of this hasn't even been available. So now this is where we hit our freeze frames, so we can stop frames and then compare them to others. So that's definitely a cool one. Now, our current fault codes, as you see, we have none. If you did have some, they'd appear here. And that's just to clear. Now, this is permanent fault codes, so if you have any permanent ones, they'd pop up here too, instead of just temporary ones. So, now we go back, and this is your service reminder interval reset, which is really nice, especially when you're working on a customer car and you don't know how to press what button and do all that. You just plug the cable and hit that, you're good to go. So auto scan, probably one of the best things we got in here. If you have a 2005 up VW Rowdy, you don't have to go and put in any specific information. Now, if you do own under that, then you have to put in your specific vehicle, which I do not. So then you just hit start, and it auto scans all the systems in my vehicle. So basically what this does is this goes through every module of your car, trying to pick up anything that's wrong. It'll pull old codes that were already cleared. It'll test everything, and it'll let you know what's wrong with the vehicle. Now, this is great if you're having issues that you don't know of. As you see there, it's testing my brake system. You see all those lights just went away, and it's going through and testing all that. Now, this is really cool because it's a full system scan. So if you don't know where an issue is coming from, boom, 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 it's going through and testing it. Now, it does take a little bit, but I can definitely talk to you a little bit about this while it's going on. So this is going to go through and literally test every computer in the car that it can read, obviously. Like, since I have an aftermarket radio, it's not going to read the radio, which is no surprise. But if your steering wheel buttons are malfunctioning, if you have them, it'll go through and read that and tell you which button's malfunctioning. And, you know, different codes on your dashboard and whatnot, airbag lights, that type of thing. So as this is wrapping up here, I'm just gonna give it a couple seconds to wrap up. What I will say is, look at that idle. It's a pretty good idle for just being a fresh start. All right, now we have all this done. Now, CAN gateway, I don't understand, but don't ask. What is important is my engine and auto trans, everything here status is okay. The radio, that's no surprise because it's aftermarket, so, you know, that's expected. But literally no fault codes found anywhere along here. No fault code, 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 which is great. Now this is radio, no signal communication. You know why? Because it's aftermarket. That's why. So that's basically what this is. And if you do have an issue, this is literally where you're going to find it. Running one of these tests, it'll do that. And now if this is a customer vehicle, you can simply connect to a printer and print out your copy here and just give that to the customer. What I do is, if there is something, I'll email it to myself, so that way I have all that information present. So that's what that auto scan does, which is probably the thing you're going to end up using most. Now, a control module is basically an auto scan, except you go down to the nitty gritty and get to specific module of what it is. So let's just say your instruments. There's something wrong with your instruments. You look with your fault codes, it'll tell you the fault code for that exact control module. Now, there's something you can do coding wise, and you can change some things out. I'm not going to get into that. If you guys want it, I will go back and explain all that. It is a little bit complex, but as long as you're safe, you can only benefit from it. Now, what I will say is, this is basically the page where you're going to get most of your information from. You probably want to end up leaving here. Now, for something like your drivetrain or something like that, you'll find all your information in here. Now, there's certain things like, I don't have all-wheel drive, I don't have differential locks, I don't have clutch, I don't have electric drive, I don't have a battery charger. So all this stuff would not apply to me. And if you were to click it, it would just keep trying to reach it until it just tells you that, hey, it doesn't exist. And same with all this stuff. Rear spoiler. I don't even have a rear spoiler, so tell me that. But yeah, this is literally every single thing that your car could have. All the way down to your voice control, your tuner, your immobilizer, your instruments. Actually, let's click our instruments and see. Fault codes. I guess I'll give you a little. Done. give you a little sneak peek of the coating here. There's a little coating. If you go into long coating helper, yes, yes. It's a little bit of a risk here. So here you have a safety belt warning. For whatever reason, that's not on. I have no idea why that wouldn't be on. So if you were to check it, it would come back on. But I have no idea why that's not on. So it's beyond me. Now I have a brake pad wear indicator, which my brakes are good, so it's not even activated in the first place. So don't ask me. Tire pressure warning, yes. Shift recommendation. And my car doesn't recommend me shifting, so it's beyond me. So that is the end of that. So that's just a little sneak peek of what all's going on there. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing, because it gets a little bit more complex from there. But that is a little overview there. You can usually freeze your frames and just hold them for, you know, what you need. So that way you can go back and really compare data, which is very important when it comes to diagnosing a customer car or something, especially your own. So that brings in together everything you'll need to know. So for a part 2, let me know. I can go over the coating. That's going to be a little bit of a longer video, because there's a lot more steps and you have to be a lot more careful with that, because you can really do some messed up things to your car and mess it up beyond repair. So you don't want to do that. So what's happening with me is I've been working 90-hour work weeks at Toyota. So I'm learning all sorts of stuff there. But as you can imagine, 90-hour work weeks are just crap. You kind of get a little tired, but you know, I'm learning a bunch. I enjoy it, and it helps kind of turn into something for videos for you guys, and where I can help you and teach you a lot of this stuff. So if you want to see a part 2, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, you know, all that fun stuff. And if you made it to the end of the video, you seem to really be a champ. So if you want, you can put that in the comments too, and I'll like your comment. You see, thumbs up. So that'll be all. Thank you.